Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I would like to talk about the similarity between investment and personal development. Through the past 2 years, I learned a lot from investment in terms of how to pick a good stock and why we should hold the stock for the long term, as it will probably have more stable return and better return rather than the short-term operations. So the rationale between the long-term investment is that if it's truly a good company that will have the competitive advantage that other companies cannot do, it will survive no matter the bull or bear market. And since their products provide value to its customers, so their customers would probably stick to their brand or their company, and that would bring the free cash flow for the company and support long-term development. I find that recently there's a lot of individual investors participate in the stock trading game, and a lot of them, they make money in the short term, and some of the investors I saw online that they begin to laugh at Warren Buffett, that they think Warren Buffett is outdated, he don't know technology, and his performance this year is not so good. But in my opinion, make money in 1 month or in 1 week or in 1 day, it seems easy because it's just a very short term, or it's just a one-time success. And I think for the short-term stock market fluctuation, if you can make money through the fluctuation, sometimes because stock market has accumulated so much factors, so the stock trend is kind of random that most people cannot predict. So I think making money in the short term is probably out of luck. But if you want to make money consecutively and stably for 40 years, I think that shows the investment strategy and that shows the capabilities. So that's why I always want to learn from Warren Buffett, because him and his company Berkshire has stable return for more than 40 years of around 20% per year, and that's, in my opinion, that's something I want to learn. And I find this scenario also apply to our personal development. So when we just graduate and we are looking for the job, some of the people, maybe they want to find a job has a good salary at the beginning. As long as there's a lot of money and the money comes fast, it's a good job. But in my own opinion, what differentiates a good job versus a bad job is not just the salary or compensation, but it's really the long-term development. In my opinion, if there's some job, maybe it's easy to make money, but not very high potential. So if I choose a job that don't have a long growth potential, it just depends on that because I'm still young and I still can work long hours. I don't think that's a good job, because 5 years later I will be substituted by the younger people, and they can probably do the job faster and better with more improved technology and knowledge. Then I'm in the bad position. So when I choose a job, I usually choose the one that have a high growth potential. Like maybe at the beginning I didn't earn a lot of money comparing with my classmates, but there's a lot to learn, and the knowledge will accumulate it. After 5 years, after 10 years, it will be different. So if we are talking about working for other people, like working in a corporate environment, what differentiates different level of employees is whether they can be substituted by some others. So that means if I can do something that other people cannot do, then I become more valuable in this human resources market and also in the company, so that I would probably be promoted or better career development. Other than the self-development, I think it also applies to the company development, that whether the company can achieve long-term success, it also shows that whether the company has a long-term mind rather than the short-term. So if the company just seeking for the short-term profit and they always want to grab the hot point to develop, and And even more, when something is popular, it's trending, like currently the short videos is very trending, and the company began to develop in that areas. And if in the EV industry is trending, they become to do EV. If e-commerce is trending, they become to do e-commerce. So if a company is trying to do everything, it probably turns out that it will not achieve anything because it didn't cultivate in specific areas, and because of a lack of accumulation, they will not dig that deep. While some of their competitors, maybe they dig in this area for 20 years, they would reach the more deeper areas. So to sum up, I think no matter stock movement, the company development, or even our personal development, to have a long-term mind is very important, because that can help us to have a big picture and to think about what is the most important to achieve long-term success rather than the short-term. Because when we are focusing on the short-term success, things are changing rapidly. But if we are focusing on the long-term, there are certain a lot of things that won't change. And if we can seize those things, we are more likely to be successful. As Jeff Bezos has said that people always ask him what will change in the next 10 years. But he always think about what won't change in the next 10 years. He thinks that for his company, Amazon, the customers always want a faster delivery, cheaper products, and more convenient customer service. So he thinks that for his company Amazon, their customers always want a lower price, better quality, and faster delivery. And these three things will never change for the next 10 years, next 20 years. So that's what he's been focusing on for the past 20 years. And now we can see Amazon has become one of the most valuable company, and Jeff Bezos has become the richest man in the world. I think probably because he has this long-term mind. So yeah, that's kind of what I've learned from this stock investing journey, and as well as what I relating to my self-development, and also while I'm working for others, what kind of company I'm gonna choose to work for. That's some of my thoughts, and I want to share with you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.